Vintage Variety here on our 70s episode. We have some special guests on set tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, they will be playing a cover of Movin' Out by Billy Joel, which was released in 1977. Of course, we had to make this 70s theme. It is our 70s episode. Ladies and gentlemen, here they are. No New Friends.
Anthony works in the grocery store, saving his pennies for someday. Mama Leone, she left a note on the door. She said, "Sonny, move out to the country. Working too hard can give you a heart attack. You ought to know by now. And who buy a house out in Hackensack? Is that all you get for your money? And it seems such a waste of time. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Mama, if that's moving up, then I'm moving up. I'm moving up. Sergeant O'Leary is walking the beat. At night he becomes a bartender. He works at Mr. Cacciatore's down on Sullivan Street, across from the medical center. Yeah, he's trading in a Chevy for a Cadillac. You ought to know by now. And if he can't drive with a broken back, at least he can polish the fenders. And it seems such a waste of time. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Mama, if that's moving up, then I'm moving up. I'm moving up, yeah. You can never argue with a crazy mama. You ought to know by now. You can pay Uncle Sam with the overtime. Is that all you get for your money? And it seems such a waste of time. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Mama, if that's moving up, then I'm moving up.
Welcome to Vintage Variety, a show that is focused on the decades of American history. I'm your host, Justin McCagnon. Today's show is focused on the 1970s, a decade that saw great social movements, as well as a major conflict that came to an end overseas, and of course, major historical events throughout that decade. We have a special guest, though, today, Professor Dennis Denninger. Professor Denninger was a graduate of Syracuse University in 1973 and now teaches courses at both Falk College and the Newhouse School of Public Communications. Professor Denninger, how are you?
I'm very good. You know, it was an era of American graffiti and Grease, so I'll look the part, as you're looking the part of Saturday Night Fever over there.
Oh, yes. I got the rainbow outfit going on. I just blend in with all my surroundings, that's for sure. But for you specifically, what was it like living in the 1970s? In terms of just culture, or for that matter?
Well, you know, the 1970s, if you survived the 1960s, the 1970s was not all that bad. Here at Syracuse University, there was great upheaval when I arrived on campus. It was the year of the October 15th student moratorium against the war. And I'm this basically clueless freshman. And the following year, the Syracuse 8 abandoned the football team because the coach would not listen to their requests, their demands for equal treatment. And there was all this upheaval, but you know, I grew up in Western New York. I was trying to focus on my studies. And the 1970s, there was all of this awakening of what people could do and new freedoms and the different music. You know, I remember listening to the Led Zeppelin, and Eric Clapton's Layla was playing over and over and over in the dorm. You know, I moved into Brewster when it was brand new.
Oh, yeah.
So I arrived at Brewster, which is now X number of decades old, obviously.
But for, I'll ask about the major historical event, though, of 1972 with Richard Nixon resigning and whatnot. For you, you were on campus for that situation. I mean, what was it like just when that all happened and went down?
Well, Richard Nixon was reelected in 1972
Well, in that case-
against George McGovern. And I remember I was working part-time for a local radio station here in town, WFBL, and actually went to cover a campaign stop by George McGovern, who was campaigning for the Democratic, he was a Democratic candidate. And then a couple of years later, I'm still working here in the media. I was working for the same radio station after I graduated, and the entire Watergate investigation comes up, and there's the October massacre of the Watergate prosecutor, Archibald Cox, is fired, and the Attorney General, Elliot Richardson, quits that same night. There was great upheaval, and it was kind of hard to explain if you were a young person, So people turned to some very interesting kind of different cultural things. The Godfather books were out, and then the Godfather movies came out, and it was, there was a lot going on. It was pretty colorful, kind of like your logos here. It was pretty colorful.
And then for you personally, why'd you pick Syracuse?
They offered me the best scholarship opportunities. I was a pretty decent student, and I came here as an honors student, and the Syracuse University was very generous. And ever since I've graduated, I've been very generous back to Syracuse University. Okay. I'm very thankful for that.
No question.
And the reason I applied here was the Newhouse School. I had worked as a high school senior. I got this opportunity to work on the local radio station in my hometown. So I was the guy doing the morning news, and then I would walk to school. So I got hooked on broadcasting, and so when I saw that there was a Newhouse School here, public communications, that's why I came to Syracuse.
And then at what moment did you know Syracuse was the right place for you? Because obviously every freshman goes through that transition phase going to college.
When I didn't have to write a big check. That was it. And you know what? Here, I'll tell you, that was kind of a flippant answer. I knew it when I first met the people on my floor. I knew it when I met people who had graduated top of their class from New York City who were interested in journalism. I knew it when around the corner on the same floor was Jason Stark, who loved sports. It is now a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame, as he's the first Syracuse University graduate as a writer to make it into the Hall of Fame. Bob Costas was here. I knew that this was a great place to be for the career that I had chosen because of the people who were here.
No, absolutely. And then for you personally, what organizations were you involved in while you were on campus? I know you had told me about the radio station you worked for.
Yeah, I was working at WFBL, which was the CBS radio station. It wasn't campus radio. My roommate, Bob Heisler, became the editor-in-chief of the Daily Orange at the end of his sophomore year. And I went to work for the Daily Orange. So that was the primary organization I was involved with, writing news stories, and by my senior year, I was the editorial director of the DO. So
no question. And then for you personally, what dorm did you stay in when you were a freshman?
Well, as I mentioned, I moved into Brewster when it was brand new, right? It was so brand new that there were still pieces of carpet that they had sliced off for the lobbies. And my roommate and I collected up pieces of the little strips, and we made our own kind of very multicolored carpet for our room. Because back then the rooms didn't have carpet; they were just linoleum tiles.
Oh, yeah. And then you had sent us some pictures. We actually do have them up, and we will be putting them up in a second.
Yeah.
And for you, when you see those pictures, what's the first memory that sparks?
Well, the fact that I still know all of those people, and I'm in connection with those people. And Jason is the guy second from the left, Jason Stark, and we all got together at the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2019 when he was inducted. First of all, you think of, how did I get away wearing clothes like that? And the guy on the left is a judge and an attorney. You think of what they were, maybe what their potential was, and you never thought that this person would go on to write books, or this person would be in a Hall of Fame. And we had just had a lot of fun together. And there was a level of intelligence about conversations and a level of love for sports. And it was great. And we've been lifelong friends, which is what I tell my students, is that if you go to Syracuse, the people that you're hanging out with may very well be your friends for life.
Oh, yeah, no question. And then, do you still have those original clothes from that photo?
None of them. None of them. That's why, I tried to, vests were big in the 1970s. We had, the head of student government was a gentleman by the name of David Ifshin, and he was never in a picture without one of these vests on. So that's why I wore the vest. But no, none of the bell-bottom trousers survived.
Well, at least you got a little bit of remembrance from me.
Yes, well, that's, thanks for doing that.
You'll chuckle about it, I'm sure. So, but the last question I have for you, entirely up to you how you want to answer this, but what was the most reckless decision you made while you were at Syracuse?
To get married. You're a stupid young person, and I fell in love with this girl that I met freshman year. Okay, most college romances, okay. Fine, you go back to New Jersey, I'll stay here in Syracuse, I'll work. And I proposed when I was a senior, and we got married 2 weeks after graduation. Wow. And we are still married. So it probably wasn't reckless, but I'm sure our parents thought it was extremely reckless to get married at such a young age.
It's fascinating though, because you think about modern day and how everything has changed. That's unheard of, I think, nowadays, at least in those scenarios.
And it's even more unheard of that you stay married for all those decades. I should have either been on my third wife or in the priesthood by now. One of the two.
Oh, question. And then, for you, where'd you meet her? What was it?
I sat behind her in English class, and I had to borrow a pencil one day because my main goal in English class was to try to crack up the knucklehead from Indiana next to me. I wasn't really paying attention to the lecture, and she was this close to turning around and saying, "You are so obnoxious." But one day I said, I didn't even bring a pencil to take notes, a pen. So I tapped on her shoulder. I said, could I borrow a pencil? And we were also in another class. We were in a smaller class in which I actually must have exhibited some kind of intelligence or some kind of redeeming value. But our first date went to a movie at Gifford Auditorium. And it's cool being the one working here because I walk past it all the time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you again, Professor Denninger.
But hold on. I'm currently getting a phone call from our man on the street.
Thanks, Justin. With the recent gas shortage ravaging the nation, I have come here to a local gas station to get the opinion of the common folk on the crisis. It's just disgraceful. Excuse me? Excuse me, sir. I was wondering if I could ask you a couple questions about the ensuing gas shortage in America.
Honestly, right now is not a great time, guys.
I couldn't tell you.
No.
No?
No. Justin, the people at the gas station were a bit too concerned about getting the last drops of gas possible. We have decided to take it to the streets instead and ask more of the common folk. Do you own a car?
Yes.
Do you guys all have cars on campus?
Yeah, I do not.
You do not.
But I pay
Is it because of the gas shortage?
I don't have a license. Maybe we should include that.
Has it been easier for you with the gas shortage just trying to get around on skateboard?
Yeah, it hasn't bothered me much.
Yeah?
I'm a little tired.
Have any of you heard about the conspiracy theory where the CIA is trying to make a hydro-powered car?
I can't say I haven't.
I have not heard anything about that.
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Yes. I don't live here. I live in Florida. So.
Excuse me. I was wondering if I could ask you a couple questions.
I'm kind of in a rush. I'm sorry.
That's good. See how he was walking? Can't afford gas. Are you planning on going home for the holidays this year?
I am planning on going home for the holidays.
I'll make sure you weren't skating all the way back.
Yeah, not like last year.
We are going to Disney, actually.
You can afford to go to Disney with the gas shortage. You're just going to Disney.
Yes.
I envy you. Do you think the president's doing a good job in terms of the gas shortage and where we are right now?
I do
I
not.
would not be able
enough
to
about it. Damn it.
I feel like she wants to comment.
I haven't seen a problem where I live down in Florida.
He's very optimistic. He's very, very optimistic.
I mean, everything was fine before he got in office, so whatever we were doing right then, we should be doing the same thing now.
So pretty much just blame the president, right?
Yeah.
Welcome to Family Feud, Vintage Variety Edition. I'm your host, Justin McCagnon. Today we are continuing with our episode straight from the 1970s, the decade where Family Feud was born. Created in 1976 by producer Mark Goodson, the game, originally called Feud, started out as a loose spin-off of The Match Game, a popular game show among families at the time. ABC aired the series with original host Richard Dawson. As said from previous episodes, I will not be kissing contestants tonight, so kudos to everyone and anyone was concerned. Who was a popular panelist on The Match Game, of course, for Richard Dawson. And although Family Feud faced low viewership at first, it quickly grew to become one of the most popular game shows of the decade. But anyway, let's meet our contestants. Our first contestant on tonight's show, Bridget. Come on down. Bridget is part of the SI Newhouse School of Public Communications. What is your major?
I am a major in television, radio, and film.
And what's the ultimate goal for you?
I would like to be a producer.
All right, well, there are plenty of people out there that would like to be producers as well, so you're in great company in the Newhouse School. We have our other contestant, Cooper. Cooper, come on down. Cooper is from the rival school on campus, the Falk College of Sport Management. I hope I said that right.
Yes, you did.
Okay. So what is you're obviously a sport management major, and you said, what is the ultimate goal for you?
I'd like to do some sort of sports journalism.
All right, writer, I like it. So similar mindsets between the two, but of course the in-house rivalry. What do you think of fighting against a Falk College student?
It's an honor. I want to show that Newhouse is considered the best for a reason.
Well, absolutely. Our two contestants will answer 10 questions from our board pulled from an episode in the 1970s in 1 minute. They will have to guess the top answer in order to obtain the points. So our first contestant, Bridget, will be beginning with our show. So Cooper, you're going to head on over down there. All right, Bridget, you have 10 questions to answer, 45 seconds on the clock. Here we go. The first question, something a stranger might ask for on the street.
Change.
The second question, an occupation important to the community.
Firefighter.
A food a dieter craves.
Ice cream.
Part of the body you wear jewelry on.
Ears.
Something you add milk to.
Cereal.
A food that produces crumbs.
Granola bar.
Something you do to an egg. 20 seconds left.
Crack.
Question number 8, something associated with an old man.
Hearing aids.
Question number 9, anything for a movie besides G.
PG-13.
An important American city.
DC.
And with 5 seconds left, you did get all of those questions answered. We're going to go back and see how many you did get right.
All right.
How many do you think you got right?
Oh, 4.
4. Wow, that's unfortunate. So here we go. Here are the answers. The first question. Something a stranger might ask for on the street. You said change. Survey says correct.
Oh.
An occupation important to the community. You said firefighter. Survey says incorrect. All right, we're okay. We're still on a good track.
Okay.
A food a dieter craves. You said ice cream. Survey says incorrect. Part of the body you wear jewelry on. You said ears. Survey says incorrect. Oof, that's a tough one. Something you add milk to. You said cereal. Survey says correct. All right, 2 for 5. Still 40%. I say as long as we got some right, we're having fun. A food that produces crumbs. You said a granola bar. Survey says incorrect. Something you do to an egg. You said crack it. Survey says incorrect. Oof, that's a toughie. For question number 8, something associated with an old man. You said hearing aids. Survey says incorrect. Oof, I'm very sorry. This is rough to see. A rating for a movie besides G. You said PG-13. Survey says incorrect. And an important American city. You said DC as in Washington, D.C. Survey says incorrect.
I
again.
overestimated.
This is, wow, they are ruthless to you today. 2 out of 10. That's a tough one. So we're going to send you over to the side. We're going to bring in our next contestant, Cooper, who will be coming out of the green room. And Cooper, well, Cooper only needs to answer 3 correct if he is going to win. It's been an interesting and a tough one at that. The person that was grading these out, as well as the surveyors for that matter, were pretty ruthless. So Cooper, how do you think? What do you think? Do you think you got a chance? You need to answer 3 correct.
Absolutely.
All right, Cooper. So the confidence is there, similar to what a sport management major and, of course, a sports journalist would want to do. They are very, very open-minded and ready to go, as always. So 45 seconds on the clock, 10 questions to answer. Cooper, here we go. First question, something a stranger might ask for on the street.
Directions.
An occupation important to the community.
Firefighter.
A food a dieter craves.
Bread.
Part of the body you wear jewelry on.
Neck.
Something you add milk to.
Cereal.
A food that produces crumbs.
Crackers.
Something you add to you do to an egg.
Hard boil.
Something associated with an old man.
Wrinkles.
A rating for a movie besides G.
PG.
And an important American city with 4 seconds left.
New York City.
Alrighty, he gets it right on the money. So we're gonna see how many Cooper got right. As said, he needs 2 to tie, 3 to win. The surveyors have been pretty ruthless today with our contestants, so we're gonna bring our other contestant, Bridget, onto the side here. All around an exciting round, but as said, the surveyors have been pretty tough, so anything's possible, I personally think, in this scenario. So let's get back to those questions, and it's all around a very exciting time. Cooper, as said, how many do you think you got right?
I think I got 3.
3? Okay, you think you got 3? Bridget said 4, and I actually thought that was a very pessimistic way, but unfortunately she only got 2 right.
You don't have to tell him that.
Well, regardless, he does need 3 to win. So let's get back to those questions. The first question, getting in here, something a stranger might ask for on the street. You said directions, survey says. Incorrect. The correct answer was money/change. So Bridget did get the right one. Second question, an occupation important to the community. You said firefighter, survey says. Incorrect. The correct answer was police. The third question, a food a dieter craves. You said bread. Bread. Survey says. Incorrect. The correct answer was candy/sweets. So, of course, Bridget got that one as well. Question number 4, part of the body you wear jewelry on. You said neck. Survey says. Incorrect. 0 for 4. The correct answer was finger. Something you add milk to. You said cereal. Survey says. Correct. The correct answer was bread. Yes. Making sure I got that right. Cereal. Oh, as said, it was the 70s. A lot of things happening. Drugs, for that matter. Question number 6. A food that produces crumbs. You said crackers. Survey says. Incorrect. The correct answer was bread/toast. Question number 7. Something you do to an egg. You said hard boil. Survey says. Incorrect. The correct answer was fry. Question number 8. You said something associated with an old man. You said wrinkles. Survey says. Incorrect. The correct answer was cane. Of course, the cane. Always reminiscent of old people. Question number 9. A rating for a movie besides G. You said PG. Survey says. Incorrect. The correct answer was R. R, mateys. That was the worst joke of all. Question number 10. An important American city. You said New York City. Survey says. Correct. So we are right down. It is tiebreaker time, folks. 2 out of 10 and 2 out of 10. I don't know how it happened. The surveyors were ruthless to both of you, but we're still in the neck and neck scenario. So the question I have for you, and hopefully you were paying attention during the beginning of the show, in what year did Family Feud debut on ABC? Do you remember what I said? That's the question. What year do you think it was?
1976.
She got it right, so she is the winner. S-High Newhouse beats Falk College School of Sport Management. I'm very sorry, Cooper. It was just a matter of who answered it first. So the winner, of course, is Bridget, and Bridget gets it, even though, of course, as said, only 2 out of 10 for either of you. I still say a tie was a tie, so we'll keep it there. But, as said, Bridget gets that tiebreaker. So when we come back, we will have some music for all of you out there with a very important band coming into the studio to give us some live action and excitement of the 1970s here on Orange Television Network.
Hi there. My name is Richard March, CEO extraordinaire of Blamo Toy Manufacturing. The boys around the office like to call me Dick. Now, you may have seen Blamo's name in the papers over the past few months, that some of our products have had some issues with the CSPC, but make no mistake, here at Blamo Toys, our greatest concern is customer safety and satisfaction. Just to prove this, we've decided to prepare a short demonstration for you guys. So why don't we bring our special guests out here. Hi, kids. This here is Samantha and Charlie. They're going to spend some time playing with our popular lawn darts today. Why don't you kids get started now? Good, that's it. Now, with these toys, all you really have to do is take aim at your target and fire away. Some people have brought attention to the fact that these toys might be a bit dangerous for small children, but I can personally assure you that everything... Oh God, it hurts so much! Oh, It's okay, sweetie. It's not your fault. It's not your... Oh, God, it's going out the other end. It's going out the other end! God, it hurts so much! Okay, what should we do?
What do you mean, what do we do?
I don't know. Should we do CPR or something?
CPR? He's not choking at a leg out. He's been stabbed, you idiot!
You don't have to yell at me!
Or what? You're gonna have them stab me next?
Hey, okay, all of our focus groups said that these toys...
Shut up, Dick! You might as well give the kids an ice pick or something!
Okay, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna pull it out. Don't worry. See, everything's fine. Everything's...
Put some pressure on it.
It's gonna be...
Stay with me, Dad, stay with me!
You're still filming? Cut this!
Welcome back to Vintage Variety, ladies and gentlemen. We have some special guests in studio with us tonight performing their original hit, May. Ladies and gentlemen, No New Friends.
4, 5, 6. Showers feel colder when you got more and more to think about. And it feels lonelier every time I try to sing now. And sometimes I try and chase shit I don't need. Bum, 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 bum. I never thought I'd be smoking cigarettes alone at night. I never thought you'd be the one to make me fantasize. And sometimes I find it hard to believe. I got nothing left to say. Wish I could go back in time, back to May. Before we got fucked, you ran away. Maybe as by this June I can wait. Stop, lay your head. You're here instead. I guess I'm stuck to deal with all the cards I'm dealt. It's been so long that I think that I forgot how normal felt. And sometimes I got nothing left to say. Wish I could go back in time, back to May. Before we got fucked, you ran away. Maybe as by this June I can wait. Just stop, lay your head. You're here instead. That was it.
Thank you for watching our first episode of Vintage Variety, 1970s themed. Tune in next week for our 1980s themed episode. From the cast, the crew, the director, and of course the host, myself, Justin McCagnon. Have a great week here on Vintage Variety.